Good morning, lovely people. I saw a thing on Facebook this morning that I could not agree more with, and I wanted to piggyback the idea and talk about it a little bit, which is New Year's resolutions and the total ignoring of seasonal rhythms of what's happening outside right now, the natural rhythms that we see in winter. So New Year comes around. We all want to get on the train of new workout routines, new diets to get rid of all the fat that we accumulated during the wintertime. I'm all for that. I get it. I understand it. But there are some seasonal dynamics that we don't think about as American culture, and that's problematic for a bunch of reasons. First one is the natural world right now, everything's contracting. Trees are losing their leaves because the plant's reserves are going into its root system to accommodate the freezing temperatures, which is also why we're supposed to be eating root vegetables at this time of year. And I know a lot of the keto people and the paleo people are like, boo, carbs suck, they're evil. Anytime, they're horrible, don't touch them, they're the cause of all disease. I disagree, as does a lot of peak performance athletes like The Rock, who works out 4 hours a day. Mind you, he has to eat them given his job and his choice in life. But I don't want to tangent into diet too much, but they have their place, and nature is kind of pointing to these rhythms to slow down, basically, because everything is contracting and moving inward. We also see this, some animals hibernate, like bears. They put on extra weight, right? Like people, we get heavier typically in the winter. People forget that maybe, they forget to consider this, that we are mammals, and that maybe when our metabolism slows down and we eat more, it's an instinctual response to insulate ourselves from the cold. People hate hearing that. A lot of traditions talk about this very basic principle. Fluctuating 10 to 15 pounds every year is actually a natural flux and a healthy sign of being in tune with the natural world. As Americans, we hate that. Like, what? You're telling me I should actually put on weight and then lose it every single year? Yes, lots of traditions point to that. We're just a hyper vain culture addicted to vanity, and we're super excessive in our work ethic. So we can't even consider that idea without getting tense and really uptight about it. So this idea can also be, if we think of it in terms of our body. So for those of you who kind of follow me, you guys all know I'm a huge advocate for sauna use. I go at least 5 days a week, about 45 minutes a pop. And when we get into a sauna, what happens? The vessels, our blood vessels and our capillaries, they vasodilate, they get bigger. Now, if you do the Wim Hof training and that kind of stuff, cold plunging, cold training, the capillaries and blood vessels contract, they shrink, they do just the opposite. Now, there are health benefits on these extremes, either side, right, to have that. But what I'm pointing to is that cold elicits a certain contracting-like response in our bodies and in the natural cycles. And then the heat is just the opposite. So when spring rolls around and those warm temperatures come back up, circulation improves, birds come out, there's more sunlight, the days get longer. Everything in nature is allowing us to have more activity in terms of circulation and our circadian rhythms. There's more light. There's more of these things happening. So this idea, if you can open your mind to this idea that as things slow down in nature, we should too, that's a big tenet right there. I think we can all agree that we don't want to fight nature. That's not a fight. That's a losing battle. To call down the thunder from nature is stupid. Nature doesn't need us. She could definitely kick us off her back if need be. So keep this idea in mind that we're supposed to slow down. With diet, what's this look like? What is the contracting diet? It means be easy on your digestion. Have low and slow cooked foods. Cook with ginger, garlic, scallions, green onions, cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper, the warm bone broths, these kinds of things, because digestion slows down in the wintertime. So if you're getting up at 5 a.m., and doing P90X or the insanity workout and switching over to cold raw foods right now to drop all this weight, it's not the best move. I'm just going to tell you guys. And I'm never like should or shouldn't, but really think about this. I mean, is it that hard to understand that maybe this is not the best time? The way I always like to think about it, coming from a martial arts background, is like a general trying to win a war. Right now is the stage when you're amassing troops, the wintertime. You are strategizing, thinking, how do we win? This is when you're making gunpowder and filling the bullets. You're making bows and arrow to optimize your attack, right? Like when to deploy. And the time to deploy is spring. When everything gets warmer, our tendons become more supple and more pliable, and our bodies are primed and ready to be very active. We're going to sweat more. There's longer days. There's more what they call yang, right? More activity in the natural world. So think about this. Consider this. Don't just start these routines because it's a new year. It's like, think about the season. If the new year started in spring, I'd be like, go for it. But it starts in the dead of winter when everything is quiet, still, and contracted. And if you fight that and you just push, what do we typically see with New Year's resolutions? People start within 3 weeks. They're like, oh, I suck. My willpower is so shitty. I'm lame. I'm so horrible because I couldn't keep it together for 3 weeks. Or it's nature saying, slow the fuck down. It's the wrong time of year to be doing it. I mean, you're fighting the current. So this is the thing. There's the whole movement with peak performance, right? Tim Ferriss, Dave Asprey, all these guys, everyone's about peak performance. Peak performance is great, right? It's about optimizing your diet and reducing stress. And it's great for a culture that's excessively addicted to work. But the pitfall in this movement that I wish more people were talking about is that you are not supposed to be peak performing all year. Nothing in nature does that. I mean nothing. It is so completely unnatural in every sense of the word to push and be peak performing all year. Lots of problems with that. So keep this in mind, you guys. Slow down, introspect, focus on who you are as opposed to who the new you you're supposed to be. Who the new you can come in spring. Like right now, go inward. Paint, journal, drink your hot chocolate, cuddle up and watch a movie. Hell, drink some good whiskey. Like whatever the thing is that you do, but like be still, reflect, and be quiet right now and strategize all your intentions for, the new you, but like deploy a little bit later. Just wait, give it a little time. So I hope this finds you guys well. In addition to this, I'm doing a feng shui workshop. Feng shui for the new year talks about the 8 life themes found in Chinese medicine and feng shui that we all have to navigate, some 5-element theory and some lifestyle and emotional navigation, some choices you can make to optimize throughout the year. So it's going to be a good course, 2 hours on Saturday. I'll leave a link below. So thank you for your time.